those three here tonight as you look inside a wet and wild Lumen Field. This crowd, as we've come to expect in recent years, as loud as any in the NFL, and they get even louder when their Seahawks are introduced. We're ready for football as the Seahawks get set to do battle with the Minnesota Vikings. Taken about 7 yards deep. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
On second down, Cook. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
And it's pretty evident when you watch how Minnesota plays, just how important Dalvin Cook is to their offense. A 1,000-yard rusher a year before, the first one the Vikings had since Adrian Peterson was dominating their carries. And having Cook in the lineup for the bulk of the season, that made Minnesota exactly what their head coach Mike Zimmer wanted them to be. A much more physical team that complemented their defense.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. CD, so often we talk about quarterbacks holding on to the ball too long. Well, we can't say that there. He had no time to do much of anything.
And this came from the interior of the defensive line, and these guys, they're normally anchors of that spot, and they don't often get clear shots at the quarterback. But in this case, he got past the center of the guard in no time and got there to make the play.
And if you're wondering just how quickly that sack occurred, the next-gen stats tell us 2.6 seconds is all he had to throw the football. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Throwing is Cousins. He's going to let it go again. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Quandre Diggs there defensively.
Two things you can do in that situation: run and punt the football, or try and take your shot at getting the first down. They chose the latter, but they'll have to punt all the same.
And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. A 39-yard punt, a return of 5, and it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Wilson, the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 48. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And they didn't wait long to take a shot there, that's for sure, but it falls incomplete, and it's second down.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Here's the first carry for Bo Scarborough. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. Decided to hand it off that time on the run-pass option.
Appeared to be an easy decision. Just gave it inside. Nice steady gain.
An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down. From the shotgun, Wilson. Open man is Cameron Batson. 20! And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Cameron Batson, his second touchdown on the season. And the Seahawks have taken a first-quarter lead.
I think it's fair to say there's nothing that gets a crowd to its feet quite like a big play, and that was something special there. Boy, was he moving.
Jason Myers now for the extra point. Footing likely going to be an issue all night here on a rainy night, but this one is good.
Vikings, nothing. Jason Myers to kick off for Seattle.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away.
Taken about 7 yards deep. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing, Cousins. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Damon Harrison bringing in 341 pounds of power for the sack. Now Charles dealing with a 3rd and long. They'll have to try to go back to the air again, and this time avoid the sack.
Certainly hard to try to establish momentum when all you're doing is going backwards, not protecting the passer, and he gets dumped on his backside.
Third and long for Cousins. That's caught by the tight end, Irv Smith Jr. And down he'll go at the 25. 14 yards is the pickup there, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. You know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, just what they're going through, whether they're seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
And he'll get this only up to about the 35. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
A 3-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 7.
They go play action now. Wilson. Wide open receiver complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. 22 yards there, a 1st down. He's already thrown for more yardage in this first quarter than he did all of last week.
And I could be snarky here and say, well, he didn't throw for a lot of yards last week, but the bottom line is he put in a great week of practice and really came out ready to go in this one.
Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. He'll get this complete to Batson. And touchdown, Seattle. Cameron Batson with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead.
Seahawks 14. Vikings.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away.
Taken about 7 yards deep. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. Cook on the first down carry there as he works his way forward for a gain of about 4.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Going for the deep ball. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Quandre Diggs. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now 1st and 10 at their own 22. They'll start off with a give to Scarborough. Tackle made that time by Anthony Barr.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Bo Scarborough, 77 yards. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further.
So there, Charles, I mean, a situation where it didn't matter how far he had to run, he was not going to be denied, and he winds up taking this all the way to the end zone.
It's good, and before you know it, it's 21-0.
Makes the score Seahawks 21. Vikings nothing. Jason Myers to kick off for Seattle.
After the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away.
Taken about 7 yards deep. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17.
1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Cousins gives way to Cook.
And this will be a Vikings first down as he'll take this up to about the 33-yard line. 21-0 our score after 1.
Vikings nothing.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They run the counter with Cook. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. One of the best in the last decade or so, Bobby Wagner in to bring him down.
This defense has really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense going to have to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
They'll try to throw now. Cousins.
Oh, going for Jefferson downfield.
And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
They've had multiple opportunities on offense and still haven't scored any points. Felt like they wanted to loosen things up, throw it downfield, and see if maybe they could get a big play and a quick strike.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now Cousins. And the throw there going to be incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's 4th down.
Problems on third down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on third down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to third down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on first and second down.
That'll be a 43-yard punt, but a net of just 33 following a 10-yard return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach, and we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
From the gun, it's Wilson. That's caught by his tight end, Gerald Everett. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there of 20 yards. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Forced out to his left. He'll run it. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down.
That was an excellent job of recognizing the situation. His first read wasn't there. Heck, his second read wasn't there. But he bought himself a little extra time scrambling out of the pocket, got to the sticks, and picked up the first down.
Now Wilson on first down. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. Able to fall on it, but look where they recovered it. That's a big loss.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage, but I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a 2nd and very long. Operating from the gun, Wilson. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far, but on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
3rd and long, it's Wilson. Buying time, and a big loss here as he's taken down. Michael Pierce, in all of his 340-pound glory, gets the sack.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things has gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. He only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
On 2nd down, it's Cook, and he'll be brought down right around the 37. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a first down, pick it up, and keep it.
It's caught inside the 25. And he is down deep into Seattle territory. It's a big one there for the Vikings. 44 yards. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down.
Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4. To throw is Cousins. Setting up the screen for Cook. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are able to cut into that deficit. It's up, it's good, and that'll cut the lead to 21-7.
21, Vikings 7.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And still plenty of time remaining here in the half, more than a minute. And we'll see if they just want to protect that lead or try to add on to it.
Well, with as much time as is left on the clock, I would imagine it would be the latter. I think they're going to try and add on to it. So what they're going to tell the team is very simply, if you can get out of bounds after making a play downfield, terrific. If you can't, everyone hustle to the line of scrimmage, either run another play or clock it and start over again.
A throw over the middle taken in.
Wilson's pass.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Let's go. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Wilson will throw again. Here's Carson with a catch out of the backfield. They'll contain him to just 4, 2nd down.
4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6.
Throwing again here, Wilson. His throw caught at about the 5. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. Now Myers for the extra point. He knocks it through. It's 28-7.
Makes the score Seahawks 28, Vikings 7.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And they'll be backed up a bit to start as he's out of bounds at the 16.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 16-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And you got to think, if this is anything other than just taking a knee, I'd be very surprised.
Yeah, they've got enough to talk about at the half. Why do anything else? Just get out of there.
And he's going to keep it here. And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And he returns this to the 22.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 22. The drive starts on the ground with Scarborough. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, give him 14.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
They'll throw on first down with Wilson. That's complete into the hands of Carson. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Now here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Russell Wilson now with 4 touchdown passes on the afternoon. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. When they drew that up, I don't think they envisioned it ending in a house call. But he got it and took it all the way home.
Really impressive run after the catch, wasn't it? That was really special by him. But let's face it, in today's NFL, those tight ends are often former wide receivers or maybe even sometimes bigger running backs. They just put them in a position to get a great matchup and make plays like that.
Jason Myers to kick off for Seattle.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. Taken about 7 yards deep. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line.
At their own 16-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script.
And that's going to be intercepted. Jamal Adams with it, the all-pro safety. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27.
Okay, partner, no surprise to you. I'm going to look at this from the defensive perspective. In the rain, you have to be more cautious trying to cover passing routes. Why? The offense knows where they're going with the football. The receiver knows the route he's going to run. You have to make sure you keep your footing underneath you.
So first and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in for second-half blowout material. Heck of a broken tackle, but only able to work this down near the 23. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. From the gun, Wilson. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. DK Metcalf. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Seahawks capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter.
Makes the score Seahawks 42, Vikings 7.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. Taken about 7 yards deep. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Now, last time wasn't pretty. 1 play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. Tight end Irv Smith, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Here's Cousins. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down.
Alton Robinson in there to drop him, and that will go in the books as the first sack of his young NFL career. Congratulations, young man. So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long. Cousins now. And the 3rd interception thrown by Cousins. Picked off by Akello Witherspoon. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. So now he's equaled his interception total from a week ago. Remember, Charles, he had 3 last week.
And you know, all week long he vowed to take that number down. Told the guys on the team, don't worry, things are going to pick up. I've got this. But he is in a major league rut right now. Let's see if his teammates can pick him up along the way.
You're right. He talked about being cool, calm, collective, rebounding. Not rebounding right here. And he'll manage to break a tackle and get this forward for a couple. It'll be 2nd down.
24-yard line.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play. With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Set the tone, defense. Set the tone.
Carson will take the handoff out of the option play. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 10 yards and a Seattle 1st down.
Good gain by Chris Carson. Picks up a 1st down, and you just have to love his running style. Talk about a straight-ahead guy, no-nonsense type of a runner. He's averaged 82 yards a game over the last 2 seasons and had 1,230 yards on the ground in 2019.
They stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14. We talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play. Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. This is Scarborough. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. And Scarborough, his 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Seahawks capitalize on this short field as they take it in for 6. And he knocks it through.
Makes the score Seahawks 49, Vikings 7. Jason Myers to kick off.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. Taken about 7 yards deep. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line.
They're on the 16-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Cousins. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by DJ Reed. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
It's Scarborough again. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Seahawks capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. He keeps carrying the ball into the end zone, and in this one, he's sort of carrying the team on his back.
He's the reason that they lead right now. No question about it. And you talk about on his back, he's not minding the extra weight at all, is he? Carrying that just as lightly as he does the football. Yeah, what a great performance so far.
Those 3 touchdowns, and it's got him in the lead. Taken about 7 yards deep. And not a great return here. He'll make it back only to the 10-yard line.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 10-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Cousins now to throw on 1st down. This to C.J. Ham, the fullback. And he'll be out right at the 35. He'll get 15 and a Vikings 1st down.
1st down, Minnesota.
To throw, Cousins. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. A good rally to the football keeps him to only a yard, and it's 2nd down.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed. But all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
Cousins throwing quickly out for Jefferson. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. That's just his 2nd catch of the game. They wanted to keep him silent. They have kept him silent.
Defensive football 101. Don't let the best player on offense beat you. Take him out of the game, and they've done a great job of doing that.
Again, it's Cousins. The open man is Smith. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 42. Give them 18 there and give the Vikings a 1st down.
1st down, Vikings.
To the air again, it's Cousins. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. Cousins again, steps away, and he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Kirk Cousins, his 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Vikings are able to at least knock this deficit down a bit. And the kick makes it through, but flags come flying in as well. It appears we're going to get a roughing call tacked on, so they elect to decline it.
And why not? Just go ahead and let the play stand, and they'll take that.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Wilson, the Seahawks take over now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They run. This is Scarborough. And he'll wind up with about 6 up past the 30 to the 31.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
They try again with Scarborough. And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more. This defense starting to buckle down when they need to, and right now they're winning this 4th quarter, losing the game, but they're winning in the 4th quarter.
And what a fine line it is about what they're trying to get done, because they're down, so they obviously need the football, need a score, but they can't be so...
Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. The 20, 10, and he's going to get this all the way down to the Vikings 7-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
On 2nd down now, it's Carson. And he'll find his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. It'll be a gain of 2, and speaking of 2s, it'll take us to the 2-minute warning. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They've got it 3rd and goal here as they try to finish off their victory.
On the option, here's Wilson.
And I think the ball's out, and this is going to kick out of bounds. Boy, a fortunate bounce or 2 there. They'll keep possession back inside the 10-yard line. 2nd time he's fumbled in this game. Fortunate for him, this one goes out of bounds.
And the key for him now is how much equity have you built up with your coaching staff? How much equity have you built up with your team to continue to get opportunities? Fortunate that one went out of bounds, saved him from a turnover.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. And that rushing touchdown is 4th, puts him just 1 shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it, but he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
Now, this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead.
63, Vikings 14. Jason Myers to kick off for Seattle.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away.
Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And he'll wind up getting a couple extra yards here for his trouble of bringing it out of the end zone as he's down at the 27.
27-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left because victory.
And that's going to be intercepted. Jamal Adams with it, the all-pro safety. And they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line. Yet another mistake after the interception there. And gosh, you look up at the scoreboard, they just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Now they'll run it with Scarborough. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
A 2-yard gain. It's 4th down.
They'll try and pick it up with Scarborough. And he gets this one across midfield for the first down to the 46. Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Seahawks, they boost their record up to a strong 4-1. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, they drop below.